What is going on, fragrance enthusiasts? Welcome to my channel. My name is Sam, and in today's list we're going to be discussing the top 10 best fragrance releases in 2024 that I've purchased and that I really enjoyed wearing, so stay tuned. Now, just to be clear, this is not a ranked list by any means. I'm gonna try to go from the least interesting to the most interesting, if that makes sense. Let's start off with this fragrance right here. Asad Zanzibar Latafah. This fragrance smells really good. Even though it's a cheapie, but it smells good, right? I mean, like, how can you go wrong? The only thing I dislike about Latafah fragrances is the presentation. I don't like the presentation of these bottles. I find them to be very corny and tacky. Like this little plastic wrap around. I mean, I think they can do without, you know, just get rid of it. You don't need it. And look, it just looks a lot better. Let's go off to the scent profile. And I'll just start off by making a few sprays just to kind of remember how the top notes smell like. Yes, now this fragrance is very vanillic with a citrusy, warm, spicy type of punch. It's very punchy, it's very spicy. I would assume that the cardamom here is playing a big role. There is this fruitiness as well. Now I do get the coconut. The coconut is there. There's like more fruits than just coconut. And there's also a white floral type of aspect to it as well. It comes across, fresh, spicy, a bit salty as well. It gives off this like a coconut body lotion. I think it smells amazing for the price. I haven't smelled anything that is similar to this one. Now I know there are many coconut type of perfumes out in the market. This is a very versatile perfume. You could wear it in colder weather as well as warm weather. Now I wouldn't suggest wearing this in the extreme high heat type of situation. I think you'd rather go for something lighter because this can get a bit sweet, so it might get a bit cloying. I wouldn't say that this is mass appealing by any means. This can rub you off the wrong way if you're not into this type of DNA, which is sweet, salty, creamy type of fragrance. I don't think this fragrance leans masculine or feminine at all. I think it's borderline unisex. So anyway, so there's that, okay? So we'll move on to the next fragrance. This list is not a ranked list by any means, so I'm just randomly going through the top 10 picks that I've picked out so far. And this one is Azzaro, the Most Wanted Intense. I freaking love this fragrance. Now this fragrance is very mass appealing, so if you're someone into like the niche territory and or if you are a niche snob, then this might not be something you'd like to purchase or you'd like to have. I personally love it. It has a sweet, citrusy, mossy, lavender type of scent profile. Has a bit of booziness, very pleasant to smell, and projects very well. So it's long lasting, very nice smelling. People would love smelling this on you for sure. This is the kind of scent profile you would want if you're just out and about and you don't want to think too much. And I don't think it's all that pricey. I think I bought this for a really good deal, and I really like it. It has similarities with other fragrance releases. I think this one stands out. The booziness in this one stands out, makes it a little bit more unique. So very versatile fragrance. You can wear this, summer, wintertime, no issues whatsoever. Because it projects and it lasts so long, I would suggest if you're wearing this for a date, just to go a little bit, easy on the trigger, because it can get overpowering if you spray too much. So great release by Azaro. Anyway, let's move on to the other fragrance. Now let's go with something a little bit more interesting. Now I'm gonna go with Hugo Boss Triumph Elixir. I think this fragrance is a bit under the radar, if that makes sense. It was released last year. I know the majority of people are talking about the Absolute, which I do have a sample of somewhere. I like that one as well, but I think Absolute is more latent-ish type of fragrance release, so I'm kind of like tired of that DNA, kind of got bored, but it is an awesome release. I think this one goes into the niche territory a little bit more. You'd have to be very specific in your type of, you know, fragrance hunt. It reminds me somewhat of Narciso Rodriguez, the original, the discontinued one. I wouldn't even say that it's inspired by, but it has a sort of like a little bit of similarities between them. It has this damp earthiness when it's a bit dusty outside, and then it rains. It gives out that rain smell. It does remind me, when I smell this fragrance, it does remind me of that a little bit. Another thing to add is the sweetness. This one is not as sweet as the Elixir or as the Absolute releases. It has a little bit of this clay vibe. It does come across like that. Wonderful. So this one is amazing for the fall, for the autumn season. It's really great. It doesn't get talked too much. I think it's a better release than the other two. But yeah, you know, it's just my taste. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, let's move on to the next one so we don't prolong this video for too much. And this spot goes to Zadig & Voltaire. This is really him. Now, if you like the original, but you felt it was a bit too much smoke and too much frankincense, then you would love this one. This is a fresher take with a more floral undertone, and has a bit of this sweet metallic loveliness. Okay, let's say you have like a stainless steel pot and you're cooking up something, you're making dessert of some type, and you know, when you want to I know it sounds weird, but like when you want to clean your pot with some water, and when the pot is really warm and it has that gooey whatever sweetness that you were making for your dessert, so when you clean it off, this is how it comes across. The sweetness in this one comes across like that. But for some reason, this one reminds me a little bit more of the Just Rock flanker, which is sadly discontinued, one of my favorite fragrances that are ever made. This one is the lighter version of those two, and it just comes across more floral. It has a bit of a metallic bite, and I think performance-wise, it's okay. I mean, I think it gets you somewhere around like maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, which is really good, considering it's somewhat of a fresh perfume. This is an Eau de Toilette, but it's an Eau de Toilette intense. And also the projection is pretty decent. I think it's about an arm's length of projection. It projects pretty well for maybe the first hour and a half, and then it settles down a little bit after that. So we're talking about some florals, some smoky frankincense, a light smoky frankincense with sweetness and a metallic bite. This sums up this beautiful concoction. In my opinion, is very underrated. Nobody talks about this house basically, and nobody mentions this fragrance whatsoever. As you can see, I've already sprayed quite a bit, and it's very versatile. You can wear it, you know, any day around, like any time of the year. It fits all occasions. So very versatile perfume. I love this fragrance. One of my top picks for 2024. Now let's go a little bit to a different direction, and we're going with Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. Now I don't know why they call it Ocean. I think, no, let me rephrase that. They should have released this one as a completely different line. They should have called it red, because they've already had black, and they should have called this one red. I think it would have been more suitable to be called red than to be called Le Parfum, and it's just a parfum version of Ocean Eau de Toilette. This has nothing to do with Ocean, so the DNA here is very different. This one is a more sweet, ambery, balsamic type of a vibe. It reminds me by Jacques Bogart, and it smells very similar to Mugler Pure Malt. So if you're a fan of these two fragrances and you want a little bit of, if you want them to be a little bit on a fresher side, then this would be a good pick. Performance wise, I would say sadly this is not a huge, performer, but sometimes you need this type of perfume. You don't have to always have beast mode fragrances. You can just basically pick out this one if you're looking for something that is more subdued. This could be ideal for the office. If you're in a work environment, this one is a really good fragrance, very suitable for that type of thing. Or if you're on a date, you can also wear this for a date. And you don't want to be too overpowering. You don't want to come across like a douchebag who's, if you're going out for dinner and you guys sit very close to each other, I don't think your date would really enjoy her meal while, having you smelling, very pungent. And this release, I think it's an okay release. I think they should have just went with a different name. They should have called it Red instead of Ocean. It has nothing to do with the ocean. It doesn't smell oceanic, or it doesn't smell like watery or anything. It does have a fresh vibe, but that's about it. So there's that. And we're moving on to the next spot, and this one is by Tom Ford, the fresher version of Ombre Leather, basically. I know a lot of people dislike this release. I freaking loved it. Why? Because I've always had an issue with Ombre Leather. Although it's a fragrance that is basically being glorified by everyone, they have the right to do so. I also enjoy Ombre Leather, but my issue with Ombre Leather is that it's too leathery off the top. And so basically when I spray Ombre Leather on, I always felt like a leather jacket. You have to wear a leather jacket in order for you to enjoy Ombre Leather. Otherwise, it just comes across very weird. So I'll give you an example. What I mean is that one time I went to meet a friend of mine, and I hopped in his car, and as we were driving, he mentioned that, he's like, what does that smell? It smells like you're wearing like some new shoes. And I found that to be funny, because I wasn't wearing any leather shoes, and I wasn't wearing a leather jacket. And I'm like, no, my shoes, it's, just, it's not new. I'm not wearing anything new. But he insisted on smelling something like a leather case, or he said there's something leathery in the air. So that's the thing. Now with this one, it has a leather vibe. It's more suede, I think, than leather, actual leather. Like, it doesn't come across like a couch type of leather. It's a suede type of thing here, and it's much more subdued than the original Ombre Leather. And this has like a very nice vanillic type of spiciness. I think the cardamom here is just exquisite, and I love it. It has a bit of a smoky vibe. I know people say that it smells like a barbecue. I don't really get that at all. I think it's really good. It's not too fresh. It's not too sweet as well. It's just very, very, very likable. And so if you're someone who's, very much into the Ombre Leather flanker, and you like that one, you probably would not enjoy this one as much if you just want that one with a little bit more of a twist. This one goes a completely different direction. Now it does retain the DNA a little bit, so we're talking about maybe it retains 20 to 30% of that original DNA, but this fragrance is completely kind of changed. So I enjoyed this one. I like it, I enjoyed it, and I think it's a great release, but I would suggest you to try it before you buy it. And what else we got here? Let's go with this one. Now, I haven't really spent too much time with this one. I've recently only acquired this fragrance, but I do love Issey Miyake. I do love Issey Miyake. I think it's a great fragrance house when we're talking about winter type of perfumes. Their winter or cold weather releases are top notch in my opinion. Their summery light versions or flankers are a hit or miss for me. But this one, in all honesty, I was pleasantly surprised of how this one comes across. Now, the best way that I can describe this for you guys is, let's say, if you were to take Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever, and you would kind of like mix it up with a oceanic, sort of metallic, watery, floral fragrance, you would get this one. And so, but if you're not a fan, or if you weren't a fan of Light Blue Forever, then probably this would not be ideal for you, but I would recommend you smelling it first, because it does have that light blue type of vibe, but only for the first hour, and then it dries down. So it doesn't have that body odor that everyone seems to, or some people seem to dislike about the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue fragrance release. So this one is really nice, has stunning performance for a freshie. It does have little hints of, what was it called? No, of Kenzo, the Eau de Parfum. So if you were to take Kenzo Eau de Parfum, mix it with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever, you kind of get this fragrance. Great release. I really like the bottle. I think it's very sleek and it's very simplistic. I bought it for a really good price. I think for what it is, it's really amazing. Issey Miyake, I think you guys did a good job with this one. And I don't hear many people talk about it, so that's also that. So it's kind of like a hidden gem, if that makes sense. We're almost done. No, actually, we still have 4 more left. Let's go with let's go with the niche, because I didn't include so many niche fragrances, only because I know that people don't really talk about niche all that much, and they don't prefer to purchase niche fragrances because of their price tags. Basically, it's, you know, not everyone likes to spend so much money just to buy perfume, but I, on the other hand, I'm crazy. So anyway, so this is a 2024 release by the house of Xerjoff. Now this is a Casamorati release. I actually like the Casamorati perfumes more. They're much more old-fashioned styled. I like the old-fashioned style type of perfumes. This one, of course, is it doesn't come across old-fashioned, but like generally, I'm just telling you guys why I like Casamorati more than just Xerjoff releases. These fragrances are a little bit more affordable than the regular Xerjoff bottles. Yeah, I really like their story. Yeah, so if you guys ever want me to just give you guys make a video strictly talking about Casamorati, go guys right ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll see if I can make a video for you guys. Anyway, so this is a sweet fragrance. It has a bit of a smokiness. There's also a type of, I'm not sure if it's rum or if it's something else. It's a bit smoky. Has familiar vibes to Maison Margiela by the Fireplace. So if you like that fragrance, but you're looking for something that is more herbal and more aromatic, then this is something that you maybe like to smell. I really like it. I should mention though, it does lean a bit feminine. Now for me personally, I don't mind. I'm very confident rocking this, no issues whatsoever. But I know some guys don't really like wearing feminine leaning fragrances, so there's that. We have 3 more fragrances left, and I'll just go by just in no particular order. I'm just randomly picking out fragrances. So this one is also very good release by Hugo Boss. So this is a concentrated release of the original. There is, you know, that fruit, that Meninka fruit. It's very unique. I don't recall smelling it, you know, in other perfumery or in other houses. Only Hugo Boss, the scent, has that type of Meninka. I've never smelled anywhere else. So gorgeous. It's very gorgeous. This is very beast mode. So when I first got this, I sprayed it. I think I made 4 or 5 sprays, 2 around the neck and 1 at the back, and then just 2 at the chest. And I think 15 minutes later, I thought, oh my God, did I get a fake or something? Because I just could no longer smell it. But that was just a case of me going nose blind. Everyone around me was like, what are you wearing? It's nuclear. And yeah, that's the thing with this one. So be careful when you guys spray these fragrances. Sometimes if you spray a little too much and you go nose blind and you think, oh my God, the performance, because I see these complaints a lot on websites like Fragrantica and other just, you know, comments on YouTube or whatever. And I think a lot of people make that mistake, is that they spray just around the nasal area, so just under your nose, and I don't think that's a good place to spray. Now, of course, you can do it if you want to, but I'm just, you know, giving you guys what I've experienced. So anyway, this one is fruity, it's leathery, it has a little bit of a citrus vibe. It has also like a rice type of feeling. I don't know if that makes sense. Wine, like rice wine, a little bit of coffee, vanilla, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Very suitable for the evening, for a night out, for a date. Just don't overspray it, it just smells good. I think 2 sprays of this, maybe an hour or 2 hours before you go off for your date, I think would set you off for a really, really pleasant evening. Anyway, we're almost done, guys. So this release, I was hesitant to buy, if I'm being honest, because I've read that it smells similar to other fragrances, and I'll talk about which fragrances I mean. This one is Mysl, the Le Parfum version of Mysl. A very seductive fragrance. Now, if you're a guy who doesn't like florals, this is not for you. If you're someone who doesn't like to smell or fears of smelling feminine, this fragrance is not for you. If you are someone who doesn't like fragrances that are too pleasant, this one is also not for you. I'll tell you what this one is for you though. This one is for people, for guys who, or women, you could wear this. I think this is completely unisex. If you're a guy and you wear this, like, you have to be very brave to wear this, because I know a lot of guys complain about fragrances tending to, you know, lean feminine and whatever. I don't mind whatsoever. I rock this with all the confidence in the world. I don't mind that at all. I don't think about that much. This smells feminine. If it smells good and I like it, I wear it and I enjoy it. I don't care what other people think or what they say. I'm not that kind of a guy. Well, anyway, this somewhat is close to this one, to the Azzaro, but there's a bit of a difference. Now, this one is white floral, so it's very floral. That one is more, the Azzaro version is more lavender mossy based, so it's a different type of florals, I guess. Not that similar in my opinion, but they're similar in terms of them being mass appealing or very pleasant to wear. Gorgeous scent. The orange blossom, there's a lot of orange blossom in this one. Orange blossom, vanilla, very silky smooth woods, a citrusy, fresh, sweet type of a fragrance that you can wear all year around. Very good performance, awesome projection, very pricey if I may say, very well worth it. I love it. I love the bottle, and it's a very nice release. And finally, guys, to the last fragrance release. I know that I didn't rank the list here, but this has to be my favorite of them all. Heavy Rouge by House of Guerlain. Now, Guerlain, to me, this This is not a designer house whatsoever. I freaking love this fragrance. This is awesome. I do have the original Heavy Rouge. I have the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum as well. This takes that DNA, mixes it up with Shalimar. I don't know if you guys ever smelled that one. And then adds in this amaretto boozy note, a type of very sweet liquor, very boozy liquor, very awesome. It's delicious. This is a delicious fragrance. And then it adds up a little bit of, I don't know if you guys know these like sugar coated almonds, that type of candy. It has that note. Now I haven't looked up the notes of this one. I do remember that it has amaretto as I saw it on the advertisement when it was released, but I'm not sure about the other the other notes, what the pyramid consists of. Very boozy, it's very thick. It behaves like a parfum for sure, but it has a very nice type of cloud around you, so it doesn't project all that far away from you, but it does give you this, like, it has a bubble, makes a nice bubble, a very cloudy bubble type of situation here. So I would suggest you go also easy with the trigger of this one. It's on the pricier side, and but I don't regret buying it whatsoever. I freaking love this release. I think to me, in my opinion, the best designer release of 2024, or maybe just the best release of 2024. And it's very oily as well. So like when I first sprayed it on my forearm, I just had this huge smudge of oil. So you know this fragrance is very much concentrated. So be careful, like spraying it on a white shirt like what I'm wearing. I would not suggest you wear it directly, spraying it on something that is light colored. Yeah, so very amazing release. Anyway, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. And I would also like to hear what you guys think are the best fragrance releases of last year of 2024. I would like you guys to share it with me down below. Thank you so much if you stayed all the way to the end of the video. I appreciate you so much. See you around. Bye guys.